大家好，欢迎来到电影娱乐报，我是主持人陈巧玲。接着呢，要为大家介绍的新片是在本届金球奖一连勇夺最佳剧本、最佳女主角等4项大奖的大热门电影《意外》。意外的英文原片名呢，是指密苏里小镇外的3块广告看板。但为什么是广告看板呢？原来是有一位单亲妈妈的女儿遭到谋杀，但是呢，警方却是办事不力，迟迟找不到凶手。因此，他就在小镇最醒目的3块广告看板上面写下了嘲讽警方无能的字眼，希望可以得到回应。虽然呢，题材好像有一些沉重哀伤，但是在导演精心的编排下，反而呢是成为带有黑色幽默的剧情电影。到底这样的意外故事会怎么样发展呢？精彩特辑一起来欣赏吧。
So, Mildred Hayes, why did you put up these billboards?
My daughter, Angela, was murdered 7 months ago along this self-same stretch of road here. Mildred Hayes, I don't think she's avenging anything. I think she's seeking justice. Seems to me the local police department is too busy eating Krispy Kremes to solve actual crime.
Hey, fuckhead!
What?
Don't say what, Dixon, when she comes in calling you a fuckhead.
I wrote it for Frances. It had to be someone who wasn't going to sentimentalize the character.
You ain't trying to make me believe in reincarnation or something, are you? Because you're pretty, but you ain't her. Mildred was the main protagonist in the story. I haven't had many chances to do that as an actor. I've played a lot of supporting roles to mostly male protagonists in my career. But after doing Olive Kittredge, I have a taste for it, and I don't really want to go back.
Cut. One more time, guys. It's great. Camera rolling. Marker.
She's without vanity, Fran. She really is in it 100%.
Absolutely no bullshit. No bullshit. I've never heard her say anything, as far as I'm concerned, that she didn't mean.
The more you keep a case in the public eye, the better your chances are getting it solved.
She's always very truthful, but then she's done great comedies.
There's a lot of good friends of Willoughby in this town, Miss Hayes.
I don't think of myself as a comedian. I can find the humor in things, but it's because the humor is important for the arc of the storytelling. For me, it was about playing the truth of a character, and it's the circumstances that make the humor rise.
You didn't happen to drill a little hole in the dentist today, did you?
Of course not.
Huh?
I said, of course not.
This might be one of the best roles Martin's written, period, for a man or woman, you know. It's a great role.
She's a very, really warm, compassionate woman, very funny, very smart, and then she's also this, this laser of an actress. She's just a lethal, she's like a weapon, you know? She keeps you on your toes, and so, of course, I love to get in the ring with great actors, and I've worked with, you know, John Malkovich, Gene Hackman, and Hilary Swank, and Frances is no exception. I mean, you gotta be on your A game, and you know. So I was prepared, but she's amazing. She's amazing.
It's great because you know I'm a big fan of hers. I've known her a while, but like you know, it's one of the joys of this profession to get to go and play in a scene with someone who you admire so much, and they're just bringing, you know, what they bring to it is so rich. Yeah, it's a real privilege, and I still pinch myself sometimes at how lucky I am to get the opportunity.
Don't!
Hey there. You know who threw that can?
What can?
How about you, sweetheart? You know who threw that can?
No, I didn't really see.
Thank you, Mom.
I do think when you get an opportunity like this, and you know could be great, you really want to give it your all. You want to make sure that it you know, that you don't let the piece down, you know, because it kind of hangs on 3 or 4 main characters. But yeah, I think Frances, like, her performance is so freaking good. I can't imagine anyone else delivering that performance. It's just the intensity, the level of the humor, just the strength of her character. And Sam, I think, honestly, a guy who's never does anything but great performances, I think this may be his greatest performance, because where that character starts out, you know, which is in some ways a little bit caricaturish and a little bit, and not likable at all, and then to turn into almost the heart of the piece, or the soul of the piece, you know, it's great, great performance, great arc.
Did you say? Are you drunk?
Don't call me an idiot, Dixon.
I didn't.
So I remember that, but I was a bit drunk, so I don't remember it specifically at the time. I remember we definitely met, but I wanted to work with her anyway, so she might have said that, but I would have said, well, yeah, I definitely want to do it, as you do when you meet someone like that at a party. But there is no one else I would have written it. I did write it for her anyway, irregardless of that fact, because there's no one else who could play a character like that, who has a dexterity with the humor, the tragedy, but it has that working class sensibility too. There's very few American actors, male or female, who play American working class without being patronizing, and Frances always has done that.
It is. It's not terrible to have a little fear before you do a project, you know, whether it be a play or a film. I think it's okay to have a little bit of fear, and I think it's good. It's natural, you know, and I think, yeah, Woody Harrelson's one of the greats too, and we have a lot of great character actors, Nick Searcy and Željko Ivanek, Daryl, you know, all these, Peter Dinklage, you know. But you know, it's funny. It's like it's amazing to get in the ring with Frances, man. She's really something. She's amazing.
Hey there, Mildred. You didn't happen to pay a visit to the dentist today, did you?
No.
Huh?
I heard no.
Oh, so it wasn't you who drilled a little hole in one of Big Fat Jeffrey's big fat thumbnails, no?
Of course not.
Huh?
I said, of course not. You drilled a hole in the dentist? Denise, no, I didn't.
I thought it was kind of funny myself, but he wants to press charges, so we're gonna have to bring you in, I'm afraid.
One more time, guys. It's great. Okay, one more. Okay.
James. Still no rest. How come, I wonder? Because there ain't no God and the whole world's empty and it doesn't matter what we do to each other? I hope not.
The hell is this? I'm a big fan of Martin McDonagh. I have been ever since I read his plays many years ago.
I think we got kind of a problem, Chief.
Martin McDonagh's work is very particular.
There's a lot of good friends of Willoughby in this town, Miss Hay.
I think my natural tone is always to start from a peculiar place or a slightly odd perspective.
There's a heightened sense of language, of character. You assume so much about them and then find out so much more.
We've had 2 official complaints about those billboards.
From who?
It's a lady with a funny eye and a fat dentist.
Jesus Christ.
Back about 17 years ago, I was on a bus through America and saw something not dissimilar to what we see on the first and second billboards. It stuck in my mind, just the idea of who would have put something like that up.
Once I decided it was a woman and a mother, things just kind of almost wrote themselves to a degree.
I'd do anything to catch your daughter's killer. I don't think those billboards is very fair.
Time it took you to get out here whining like a bitch, Willoughby. Some other poor girl's probably out there being butchered right now. It is a very, very tricky thing to find humor in a story that's based on a young girl's murder. There's nothing funny about that, and there's nothing funny about Mildred's grief, but putting her in situations that subvert that end up being really darkly humorous. And Martin's a master at it.
Cut.
I mean, it's a story, so that always is going to have a fantasy. You know, it's a made-up story, but hopefully it's all logical. And I kind of wrote it after coming up with the original idea and that character. I didn't know where it was going to lead to. I didn't know what was going to happen, and you can kind of, I guess, get the sense of that because each scene, you know, is followed by a scene that goes to a strange, different place. And then a husband comes in, and that goes strange. And even in the scenes, they can go from, you know, outright comedy to sadness within lines. And I didn't know what was going to happen to Woody's character. I'm still surprised by that. And certainly Sam Rockwell's character, he in some ways has the biggest change in the film too, but I think apart from the comedy and the darkness, the hope that has kind of come through during the filming and during the edit was the thing I was most surprised by. I think it's maybe my most hopeful film yet.
欢迎继续回到电影娱乐报。一件谋杀案，3个巨型看板，让一个朴实的小镇掀起了一场大风暴。由奥斯卡的金牌编剧马丁自导自演的电影《意外》，已经横扫了国外多个奖项。而60多岁的奥斯卡影后法兰西斯也演活了为爱女争取公道的火爆妈妈。另外呢，再加上胡迪·哈里逊以及山姆·洛克威尔等卡司，精彩程度是备受各界肯定。而故事在单亲妈妈、警长和无能警员的角色设定下，虽然写实呢，却透露着希望。导演的功力当然功不可没，一起来听听演员们怎么说吧。
What I love in making films with Martin, there's a love of humanity in all his work. I think he walks a tightrope of comedy and pathos and sadness.
It has characters that you're judging them a little bit, but he obviously does it gracefully, and they go deeper and deeper.
I know I'm a dwarf who sells used cars and has a drinking problem, but who the hell are you, man? That billboard lady who never smiles.
He really cares about what you're doing and wants you to have fun as an actor.
Ready and action.
It was almost theatre-like getting to talk about their characters with them and put them in a few scenes in the weeks before we shot.
He was really specific, and that's helpful as an actor.
All this anger, man. It just begets greater anger.
One of the great things about Martin's writing is that you get inside these characters and you got a story that's going to stay with you.
If I had some food, I'd give it to you. All I got is some Doritos. They might kill you. They're kind of pointy. Then where would we be?
Well, it's great because they never disappoint. I've never read a script of his that I didn't think was amazing. But the difference is, as a director, I think In Bruges was fantastic, and so I really loved Seven Psychopaths, although I don't think Martin thought it was as good as he wanted it to be. But this one, I feel like he's like almost jumped to Coen Brothers level of like incredible direction, writing, all of it. Just beautiful film. Yeah, you know, it's ironic that Martin would give me a good guy part. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a wonderful thing to work with him because he's really knows what he wants. He has a vision. The writing is impeccable. Doesn't really need any, you know, help. And I just think he hit it out of the park with this one.
I'd do anything to catch the guy who did it, Mrs. Hayes, but when the DNA don't match no one who's ever been arrested, and when the DNA don't match any other crime nationwide, and when there wasn't a single eyewitness from the time she left your house to the time we found her, well, right now, there ain't too much more we can do.
Could pull blood from every man and boy in this town over the age of 8.
There's civil rights laws prevents that, Mrs. Hayes. And what if he was just passing through town?
Pull blood from every man in the country, then.
And what if he was just passing through the country?
If it was me, I'd start up a database. Every male baby was born, stick 'em on it. And as soon as he'd done something wrong, cross-reference it, make 100% certain it was a correct match, then kill him.
Yeah, well, there's definitely civil rights laws prevents that. I'm doing everything I can to track him down. I don't think those billboards is very fair.
The time it took you to get out here whining like a bitch, Willoughby, some other poor girl's probably out there being butchered right now. But I'm glad you got your priorities straight. I'll say that for you.
She starts off as this person you're completely behind, I would say, because of what's happened, and her enemy are well, one of them's, you know, a proper jerk, and one of them's not quite, but is still on the wrong side, according to her. But to try and explore all of those characters truthfully allows you to see the humanity in them all. And if you see the humanity in people, none of them are all good and all bad. And that's probably what allows the hope of the journey to come through. And yeah. But it's mostly about being truthful to these people.
So, Mildred Hayes, why did you put up these billboards?
My daughter, Angela, was murdered 7 months ago along this self-same stretch of road here.
Frances is obviously one of the great actresses, and I love her take on the character.
I guess you're Angela Hayes' mother.
That's right. I'm Angela Hayes' mother.
Frances gets a lot of her inspiration from John Wayne movies for her character.
Did you put up those billboards to fuck with the cops yet?
They're up. Go, girl.
I can see it in her walk and her cowboy attitude on screen.
And there's this kind of war between her and the police department, sort of a high noon situation.
Hey, fuckhead!
What?
Don't say what, Dixon, when she comes in calling you a fuckhead.
There is something archetypal about the character relentlessly fighting for what they want, time and time again.
The more you keep a case in the public eye, the better your chances are getting it solved.
He sets up the world like a Western. He sets it up in a way where you kind of know the rules, and then he breaks the rules, and then he comes back to them, and yeah, it's true. You think you know what you're doing, and then it goes another way, but there are rules to this kind of genre, whatever this genre is, you know, comedic drama, Western, Gaelic, Greek tragedy, you know. It's pretty out there.
You have something to say to me?
If I'd known, we could have double dated.
Doesn't shit girl have a curfew weeknights?
Oh. No, in fact, I was actually going to take her to the circus later, but there's no need now. Does he juggle?
Look, I'm having one dinner with the guy because he did me a favor, okay?
You don't have to explain yourself to me because you're having dinner with a midget, Mildred.
I'm not explaining myself to you.
You kind of are.
I think the last time I was here was for Natural Born Killers, where we got quite a few boos from the crowd. But, you know, this one I'm hoping that it won't get the boos this time, but I have a feeling that they're gonna like this, although I don't know how it plays if a lot of it's just being read as you're going, you know, like how you know, how it was transcribed into Italian, how that's going to affect it. But I'm hoping they love it.
You get over here.
No, you get over here.
All right.
What? Don't, Dixon!
What?
You do not allow a member of the public to call you a fuckhead in this station house.
That's what I'm doing. I'm taking care of it in my own way, actually. Now get out of my ass.
Mrs. Hayes, have a seat. What is it I can do for you today?
Where's Denise Watson?
Denise Watson's in the clank.
On what charge?
Possession.
Of what?
2 marijuana cigarettes. Big ones.
When's the bail hearing?
I asked the judge not to give her bail on account of her previous marijuana violations, and the judge said, sure.
You fucking prick.
You do not call an officer of law a fucking prick in his own station house, Mrs. Hayes. Or anywhere, actually.
What's with the new attitude, Dixon? Your mama been coaching you?
No. My mama doesn't do that. Take him down. You hear me?
The image and the idea of like a painful, awful message being put up on a bunch of billboards, and then who put like, so it's slightly in reverse. Who would have put up something so painful and angry? And once I decided that that was a mother, the story just kind of evolved by itself. And it allowed me to make the mother character as strong as possible, because you wouldn't have put billboards up like that unless you were pretty tough. And knowing that the havoc that they were going to cause, and being prepared for that is going to be, you need to be a very strong woman. So that kind of allowed the first 20 pages to just explode, as it were.
Well, I thought the character was very well realized on the page, and yeah, there is just a basic decency to the guy, but he's not above putting up a fight when necessary, and he didn't always fight fair in the course of this film, but yeah, he's a guy really caught in a situation where, this horrible crime has happened. She wants justice, and Frances's character wants justice, and, well, she should. But from, Chief Willoughby's perspective, there's no justice to be had because it's a crime he can't solve.
Well, it feels like you're getting something very special in the mail. It's a big deal, and you really got to make it happen. There was a discrepancy. I had to do a Sam Shepard play in New York, and we had to work out the dates so that I could do this movie, and everything worked out. But it was scary when I thought maybe this would not work out. It was terrifying. Yeah. Yeah, well, I was saying, you remember the Andy Griffith show with I remember Barney Fife, Don Knotts. I felt like in the beginning, he's Barney Fife, and then he turns into Travis Bickle. I think that this film probably is more universal for people. It might hit more hearts and minds in a way. It might reach more people because I think the film appeals to a lot of. There's a lot of things going on in the film that I think appeals to people, and so, I think he's amazing, and he keeps getting more amazing. I don't know. It's just he's so out there. I mean, he's got crazy ideas. It's crazy stuff.
以上呢就是本周的新片意外推荐给大家喽，也希望你们会喜欢。我是小林，电影娱乐报，我们下次再见喽，拜拜。